Welcome back, everyone. It is January 30th, 1942, and we're here with another turn of Yamamoto's Folly, our continuing struggle against the Allies. Let's see what this turn has in store for us. It starts out with a little sub-action near truck, the K-16 missing what looks to be an ASW group there. Another little sub-action there, again near truck. We're on to the AM airphase. Start off with little sweeps and some bombing at Changsha. Actually going after the Changsha airfield, we saw some planes on the ground here, and I'd like to take care of them while we can. Looks like we're doing good damage here. Lots of Allied planes damaged and destroyed on the ground. Hopefully it winds up like that on our combat report. So we do lose a Betty to flak. Oh, wow, look at that. 7 DB3Ms, 4 Hudsons, 3 SP3s, and 1 H-81A3. 65 runway hits. That's great to see. Also bombing here at Pontiac. We really want to take this hex. Lose a Betty to flak, and only do light damage, sadly. Some more light casualties there. Still going after Changsha, and more planes destroyed on the ground. Speaking of planes destroyed on the ground, another Catalina bites the dust at Cebu, a space that we've been pretty much bombing since the beginning of the game, but we keep finding planes on the ground there. Lose a Mabel to flak while doing some bombing at Kukong. And of course we're still going after An Chang. He's starting to move out of Chinkau, which we had bypassed and kind of moved around rather than dealing with the troops. And so now I'm just trying to knock some of those units into combat mode instead of move mode. Slow them down a little bit while I can deal with the situation. Not getting a lot of success besides that. Oh, there we go. So, go after one of these units in clear terrain in Burma. So, as the Allied player, holding this line here in Burma, which may seem like a good thing to do because you have the rail line here, on the surface it seems like a great place to defend. You've got kind of this line that'll cut off the Japanese from the rest of Burma and India. The problem is so much of this is open terrain that you can just bomb the heck out of it, and there's not much you can do about that once the Japanese player has air superiority. You're much better off forming a defensive line along here, along this better terrain, where you have some rough terrain with better defensive bonuses. It's called the infall line, or fall back to Calcutta, but then you also have the open terrain in that area as well. Anyway. That's not to say, as the Allies, that you shouldn't hang on to Rangoon as long as possible, because you should. Not doing as much damage here at Shinkao as I'd like. He comes in with Dutch bombers to attack my forces marching up to Muntauk, but we fend them off, destroying 3 of those Dutch bombers. He has to be low on those by now, I would assume. Oh, nicely done! Nicely done again! Okay, so I had moved my air headquarters from Jolo. I picked up and moved it to Minato to bring torpedoes further south. Then I have some Bettys and some Mavises at Minato carrying torpedoes. And that Betty squadron finds a battlecruiser at Kopang and puts 2 fish on her side. Very nicely done. Catalinas go after my ships refueling at Adak. I have an oiler here, of course, and you can see I do have some Jakes on Cap. They're not great at Cap, but they're better than nothing. I do have a Oscar group on its way, but it's going to take a while because it's coming by boat. We're on to the PM airface. Maybe we'll get a second strike on the New Zealand. That'd be nice. Here comes those Catalinas again, and they miss, and 1 is destroyed by flak. Azure's again capping over my forces on Benka Island. Fortunately, they get through our cap, and we don't take any of the planes out, and we do take some casualties. Here comes another one, but unescorted. This time we're going to get among the bombers, and it looks like we just down a couple. Yeah, 2 of those bombers down. Betty's doing good work there at Rangoon. And so the Sallies do as well. Going after the runway airfield, where he still has some planes, surprisingly. And here we come again. Yes! Another torpedo. Sadly, we don't have any damage notifications on the New Zealand at all. She could just be tanking those torpedoes, as far as I know. We do lose a Betty to flak, but it's nice to get that 3rd torpedo. Mavises, yes! Oh, and the Achilles as well. Oh, nicely done. Alright, here we go. We lose a Mavis to flak, but torpedo on the Achilles, 3 torpedoes into the New Zealand, plus the ones she's already taken. She has to be in trouble. But we do not hear the ship sinking noise, which is kind of sad. A deliberate attack up here and force these Chinese forces out of the way. And that's it for the ground combat. Not much of that going on. I'm resting in a few places so I can attack next turn with a little bit less disruption. We'll look at where our disruption is and decide if we want to attack or not. But yeah, that's it for the turn. Pretty decent turn all the way around. Killed some planes on the ground. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, it was 23 losses to 43. Definitely in our favor. We did lose some Bettys to flak, but you know what? They were going after that battlecruiser, and I'm not going to begrudge that too much. 10 of those Dutch bombers go down. You destroyed 9 DB-3M Chinese bombers on the ground, 8 of their A-29 Hudsons, and 6 SB-3s. Nice little pickup there that we got, plus 3 of their H-81A3 fighters. So all around, pretty happy with that result. Let's look at ship sunk. No, nothing. But man, after 5 torpedoes, she has to be in trouble. Really has to be in trouble. I have some subs here, so they're gonna go pay a visit and take a look-see as well. But yeah, all things considered, pretty decent turn. Making progress up here in Burma. I'll be trying to attack Pontianak next turn, and headed back to Manila here with these forces. They'll rest up, get put on ships, and head off to their next destination. Like I said, that's a lot of AV that is now freed up to go to other places. Very shortly, we'll make our first Singapore attack. It will be extraordinarily costly. I'm sure he has very, very high forts here. Yeah, the first crossing is going to be a doozy. It's going to be really rough. Not much we can do about that. After we make that crossing, we'll then follow up with bombardments and other things to try and reduce his troops a little bit. But the crossing is going to be painful no matter what. We'll lose quite a few units. Hopefully not so many that he's able to counterattack and force us back across the water to Johor Bahru. Alright, so that's it for the turn. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Take care.